the hell is he? We're live right now.
All right. Well, I'm having some musical difficulties with the audio, but anyway, we'll just kick it off here. You know, no pomp and circumstance. We're back, guys. It's Thursday. It's the Horsemen Hangout. I am your host, Mr. Justin, coming to you live from Swedesboro, New Jersey. Let me introduce you to some special friends of mine. Introducing first from Loudon, New Hampshire, Mr. Stephen Page. How you doing, Steve?
What's going on?
Looking very ready for this. And Mr. Roo TV looking ready as well with his coffee, or is that tea, or what is that?
Orange juice. Tasty orange juice.
With the tasty orange juice. I'm going to bump this volume up as I introduce from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, from the great Smokies, the great state of Tennessee, and he has a new intro for himself, and I'll let him intro that right now.
We are the dog showing, football watching, baseball loving, NASCAR loving son of a gun. Woo!
Woo!
Oh my. Oh my.
Woo! Wait, you know, I think at the end of the show we should cut a promo as the Four Horsemen. Just cut a promo. Straight up.
I got a question for everybody. And I asked this a long time ago, but if we were any members of the Horsemen from like any decade, any reincarnation, who would we be?
Well,
I think we did this last year or the year before.
Yeah.
And I remember doing it.
Yeah.
I would throw a wrench in it, even though he's never been in the Four Horsemen. And I'm gonna say I'm gonna be Spike Dudley. And I just came to it.
I'm gonna be Paul Roma. Paul Roma.
Pretty Paul Roma, yes. Stephen Page.
Stephen Page will be Stephen Page has to be I don't know, Arn I would say Arn Anderson.
He'd shave his head and become Arn Anderson.
Yeah. If you do that, Stephen, if you do that Arn Anderson neck thing like this, you probably look like him a little bit.
You have glasses? You wear glasses?
No.
Well, maybe Tully Blanchard.
And I don't got a little touch of Alzheimer's.
My spot. Liver spot.
No, I think I'd be like J.J. Dillon. I might Barry Windham because I was born in Texas.
Josh, what's that shirt you got on? It says old school. What is that?
Batman and Robin. Batman 66.
Oh, very nice.
Josh, how far do you live away from Star Maker Bowling?
From Louisville, it's about 6 to 8 hours.
Oh, that's a pretty.
Oh,
that's
my.
Oh, my.
Oh, crap. My calories.
Anyway, hey, before we get, there's a lot of stuff to talk about tonight here on the Horseman Hangout. Actually, maybe not a lot, but just a lot of heavy subjects. And I would be remiss if we didn't start out with the reason why I'm wearing this Phillies hat right now is the news that broke on Tuesday that former Toronto Blue Jays and Phillies ace Roy Halladay passed away at the age of 40 after a plane crash. It's an accident in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Florida. You know, it was really sad. Almost when I saw the news, almost couldn't believe it. I saw that the plane first was licensed to Roy Halladay. They weren't sure who was in it, but you kind of knew that he would be the only one driving his plane. And, you know, it's sad. It sucks, you know, because it brings back, for at least me and Ryan, 2011 in Zorzi, you know, that Phillies team was just such a joy to watch. And he was so great to watch. And even though they didn't win the World Series, I said in my Facebook post, it was one day of sadness, but those teams brought you almost, 200 days of just pure joy. And not only was Roy Halladay just an awesome baseball player, but he really fit the mold of what a Philadelphia player should be, fit the mold of what an athlete should be in the community, and he seemed like a really good family guy. Obviously I don't know him, but just sad for the Phillies community and for his family. So it sucks, but what are you going to do? Drew, do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, very big loss. Definitely unexpected, and not his. If you believe in fate, I don't think that was his time. I think it was a freak accident, and yeah, I'm just I'm curious how people would have reacted if this would have happened if he was still playing baseball. Now, would he have even been getting his pilot license if he was still playing baseball? I don't know about that. That was something I guess you really have to dedicate, because I think he's been getting the license for the past year or something. He had the aircraft for about a month, I think, early 5 weeks or something like that.
I thought I heard it was just approved by the FAA or whatever.
Okay. Well, he had. Oh, really? Okay. Well, I know he had been flying.
Yeah, 50 retired.
No, I know he had been flying for several, but the particular era that he was in during the time of death, I believe it just had gotten the okay to fly in the air.
That's true. That is true. It was. He didn't have many flights with that aircraft.
No, like you could probably fly it wherever the test facility is, but you can't fly it beyond that. You know what I mean?
Was he inducted into the Phillies Wall of Fame, Justin, yet?
No, not yet. And usually you have to play at least like 4 or 5 years. But I'm sure they made it. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, he has to be inducted. He will be. And they made it for Jim Thome. They made an exception, and they definitely will for Roy Halladay. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if they do it this year and don't even vote on it and then just put him in. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I agree. I think they should.
Teams tend to do things right away now. It seems like the Red Sox took care of Tatis right away. They retired his number like the next season, like the beginning of the season. They're like boom.
Big Josh, what do you got to say? I see your hand up there.
Yeah, I gotta say something because I'm gonna clarify something that was a little confusing on social media. I talked to somebody at the Tennessee Smokies, and he did a farewell in 2009. He made an appearance in Kodak, Tennessee, Smoky Stadium.
I see. No, he didn't play. He didn't play. He did an appearance, in other words.
He did an appearance, and then I saw him in 2001. He was playing for the Smokies. I got confused with what I saw, and I apologize for that.
Because I was checking the stats, and I knew by then he was like a major league star, and he wasn't really playing in the minors.
Well, I apologize for that, guys, but it's just I saw him play in 2001 when I was on vacation. I wore a Tennessee Smoky shirt backwards, and I remember seeing him pitch. He was a hell of a ball player. I give him credit for having a great career, but freak accident,
Yep. Very bad. Only 40 years old, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, sucks. I know, Steve, you guys being in Red Sox territory probably saw a lot of him in the American League East when he was with the Blue Jays. So.
Oh, yeah, he was a great pitcher. It was one of those guys that, it would be a rough day at the office when you'd sit down at that TV game when he was pitching.
Yeah. It's weird because, he played for the Blue Jays for 12 years, and he played for the Phillies for 4, but, I think people know him, at least around here, more for the Phillies than the Blue Jays, just because all the stuff he did with the perfect game and the no-hitter, and now he's he was a part of the organization and he was going to become a coach. So pretty cool stuff.
Now, did he have a no-hitter with Toronto, or did he just do it with Philadelphia?
I don't think so. They said that his second career start in Toronto, he was 1 out away from a no-hitter or something like that.
So I thought he came close to one. I remember.
Yeah, he was
on the news
years old or something. And he did it. So.
Yeah, I think he had one when he was playing for the Smokies. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 no-hitters about 01.
Josh, when you go to I know it's been a while, but when you go to the Smokies games, do they have good food there, or is it just minor league basic food? Do they have good food at the Smokies games, Josh?
Well, when I won a contest on the Tennessee Lottery Facebook page. They have free food vouchers, and they had hot dogs and chips and stuff.
I got you.
I don't like hot dogs. I just ate a chili bun. The chili buns are good.
Yes,
hot dogs.
When the chili
food. I love sausages, and but hot dogs I think are I don't know. I
disagree. I don't know. I disagree. I like hot dogs. Especially they have to be good.
It depends on the hot dog. I mean, it depends on the maker, like the brand of hot dog. Like, it has to be a really good, high quality hot dog for me to eat.
And the bun, I think the bun has, like, when you get it at the Phillies game, it's a potato roll.
Yeah, but like, sometimes I have a cheeseburger and I'm like blown away. Like, holy shit, this is a friggin' awesome sandwich. Yeah. I never been to a hot dog and been like, wow, this is amazing. It's always like, yeah, it's a.
What about a cheese dog?
I like the toppings.
Oh, gross. No, God, those are gross.
Really? Oh, God. Does anybody
I like toppings on hot dogs, but
do people here? Let's ask somebody from Tennessee and a person from Loudon, New Hampshire. Do you guys like melted cheese whiz style cheese on maybe like what do we call it now? Steak sandwiches or hot dogs or?
It has to be like. I don't like cheese whiz. No, it has to be like cheese. Like
yeah.
I remember back in the early 2000s at this drive-in theater in Pipeston, West Virginia. I had a chili bun with coleslaw and nacho cheese and all that.
What year was this?
But early 2000s.
Holy crap! You remember that? That was a.
Were you in Pigeon Forge early 2000s, or were you still in Virginia?
I was living in Bluefield, Virginia, from like 1985, from like 85 to 2005.
Gotcha.
I see.
And you saw the Great Smokies, the game when you were on vacation in the Smokies.
Yeah, 2001. I was I was going into senior year in high school.
Gotcha. All right. It's cool. So we got the hot dog versus. Oh yeah, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
No, hot dog's not a sandwich. No.
That's what I thought.
This is a hot dog.
All right, just checking. People ask that all the time. All right. That's one major topic down here. I'm going to go straight to our clip of the week, if that's okay with you guys. Let's see if I have the.
Anybody?
What?
All right, never mind. Just do the clip.
All right, here we go.
Uh-oh.
All right, here we go. This is.
No. I bet these guys maybe never saw this.
They have.
You've never seen. All right, can I set the? I'll set the table.
Yeah.
Okay, you've seen it. Well, I'll set the table. This was 2004 at a book signing at a Walmart we went to, and there's Mr. Lane right now meeting the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
In high white tube socks and Paco shorts.
Okay, buddy. All
right, let me turn the volume up here. Volume up. Right.
I was right.
Can I see video over there?
Oh, where is it? Where is it? When is he going to answer the phone? There it is. There he is. Woo! He's naking him right now. Woo!
I hope he doesn't do that in June when I go try and meet him and the Horsemen. I hope that'll happen to me.
Rick's like, yeah, chapter and resident in.
He better not do that when I'm there.
Now watch Mr. Lane try to shake his hand. Watch this. It's embarrassing. Watch this.
Oh! Shut down.
Oh, he got shut down. No, he shook his hand there. He got him there.
I hope that don't happen to me.
That's Mr. Zorzi right here. That's Mr. Zorzi.
Bow to greatness, Mr. Zorzi.
Sporting the Ducharme's Pro Foot store.
I think I'll try to film at the Fanboy Expo in June.
All right, now, Ryan, describe what you're doing here, Rue.
Well, right here I am basically sporting a ridiculous-looking necklace. I don't know why I put that thing on. I guess it was the surfer look or the AJ Styles look at the time. Other than that, I was wearing
That's more Josh Matthews than...
Yeah, that's it. Perfect. I guess I was trying to be Josh Matthews back then. Plus, I had some hair. So basically, what I was doing was meeting Ric Flair and looking like someone who doesn't know how to dress himself. So that's it.
What
Rick
year was this?
Rick looked thrilled that you were trying to tell him something.
I was telling him something about Bret Hart.
My buddy McBurry. I was taping this now. That's why you don't see me in it.
Damn.
Anyway, I don't know. Let's see if I can fast forward here. Get to some post game. There you go, Mr. Lane.
That was a good hit, actually.
Oh, look at that strut. Look at that.
The Mr. Lane strut.
How he's strutting in front of the handicap car, you know.
Wow.
You can notice my TNA shirt.
Now wait, I want to show you guys the strut in the beginning of this thing. It was an excellent strut.
Turn back around. Yes, we're here with Michael Lane here. Michael, thoughts on Ric Flair going up there?
Here it is. There you go.
Earlier today, you promised me that you would do the Ric Flair strut. You do that now?
Yes.
They do it? What is it? No, that's right. I'm thinking double J. I didn't get that good. All right, one more time.
All right.
I got to make a comment about this real quick. This was like 2004, pre-YouTube. We're shooting this. We did a lot of stuff. We did a backyard wrestling fed the same way. We shot stuff, and the only people that watched it was us. So, I have a microphone in this thing interviewing Mr. Lane, but who was going to watch it except me, Zorzy, our cousins, maybe at the most. And the same thing with the WWSA, a backyard fed. We filmed that, and the only people that watched it were pretty much us and like two friends. I just think that's shows the love of creating stuff. I guess.
I'm glad we got all this stuff on video. We got a lot of good content, a lot of good.
Wait! I got to ask you guys a question.
Yes.
You, Justin, Ryan. What kind of advice can you give me? Because I know it's a long way away from June 29th through July 1st of next year, but what's the advice you can give me when I try to meet Ric Flair and possibly the other members of the Four Horsemen?
I would say know ahead of time what you're going to ask them, and try to not be nervous when you meet them, because you want to enjoy the moment. It goes so fast. Yeah, it goes so fast. You want to be able to stop and smell the roses. So.
I go with meeting wrestlers, no matter who it is. Mark. I mean,
yeah,
they've heard all the questions before.
Exactly.
And be like, so what's your favorite match, Rick?
Yeah.
Don't just be real with them. That's what they want. They want you to treat them like they're human beings.
Josh, turn on that Pigeon Forge charm that we all know you have, and just smile big, and just be gracious.
Yeah, I'll politely just say, hey, I've been a fan since '87.
Got to tell them the years. Tell them how many years you've been a fan.
Yeah, I've been a fan since '87. So, that the other big wrestling topic is like 20 years ago today in Montreal.
Sure, the screw job between Vince McMahon as he screwed Bret Hart when he lost to Shawn Michaels. Yes.
So the reason why I wanted to show that Ric Flair clip, obviously, is ESPN presented their 30 for 30 this past week. I think I know Steve watched it. I watched it. Rue watched it. Josh, did you watch it?
Oh yeah, damn right.
So I'll give my take first on it. I thought it was excellent, done very well. There's a lot to tell there. That could have been probably 3 hours instead of an hour and a half, but they really fit in what they needed to. I think the significant parts of his life, and man, if that guy's really lived a life. I can't believe some of the stuff he's said and just everything. And I'm really grateful that I saw some of that, because I being a WWF fan growing up, I didn't see any NWA stuff. And I saw some of the stuff on the network, but I'm glad I got to look back and see some of the old footage with Dusty. And, I was more of a, WWF Hulkster fan. So I'll go to Rue. Do you want to give your take on this epic 30 for 30?
I thought it was very well done. The director, Rory, who we follow each other on Twitter, he doesn't follow too many people. And I had known him from he did the punk documentary too, the evolution of punk. And he did an awesome job. Just the music that he used was really good. It really set the tone. And of course, didn't really need music because of the dramatic stories that from Flair's life, especially the parts about Reed Flair's late son. Very heart-wrenching especially if you remember Reed as a little kid, and he was destined to be following Flair's footsteps. But the reality is that's what did him in. And sadly, following in his dad's footsteps probably were too big a shoes to fill. And I think he got lost in the problems with drugs, of course. But that was sad. Shed some tears. I thought it was a very good documentary. But Flair himself, personally, I know Justin just left the comment. We grew up on WWE, but I did used to watch a little of him in NWA at the tail end in WCW. Like I'm talking like late '80s, and then I remember being so happy, so happy when Ric Flair signed with WWE in '91. I was the biggest mark. And Justin, I think you came with us. We watched the Royal Rumble when he won the title at Aunt Roseanne's house. She ordered the pay-per-view. Yeah, I remember vividly Dad saying, "Ryan, why do you like? I thought like everybody wanted Hulk Hogan to win. Why did you want Ric Flair to win?" I had to explain to him why Hulk Hogan was lame now and Ric Flair was the man. So that was a good times, 1992.
Yeah, Steve, I know you're fresh off watching it, so
I just watched it. I got done with it about 9 o'clock. So yeah. Yeah, I thought it was really done well. The director was cool. I don't watch too many 30 for 30s. I've watched a few. So I don't know if this style down interview, like director, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. I like that. I've seen it in other documentaries and like documentaries and stuff like that I've seen. So I thought that was cool. And another cool production thing I thought was cool, like they actually went and did like animations for like the stories Rick was telling. Like they actually showed like
that was cool.
The wrestlers and
I
thought that was pretty cool.
I think that I'll give you another chance. I just wanted to say that you could tell that it was like aimed at not just wrestling fans, and it was aimed at like the general audience because there were some terms there, like I think it was selling and heel, like certain stuff that we obviously all know, but they had to kind of the director or the interviewer was asking Rick to explain it, and it's like that was kind of odd, but I get why they had to do that. I think so.
Yeah, it's ESPN.
Yeah, but I think they did that. Even hard. I mean, unless you went online and looked for those terms, some fans I didn't know some of the terms till I was much older.
Right.
So. Yeah. Even if you're a fan, I think that was kind of cool.
I guess we're used to seeing network documentaries where we all know all the stuff, but if you're a cable network, I guess it's different.
Right.
Josh,
right. I mean, like when he said, I liked how he stood up for it, where they were like, when people would call it fake, he's like, it's not fake. Like you could see like the reaction he had. It's like, it's not fake, damn it.
It's so funny. Yeah.
That's like that's all of us right there. That's all of us when we're confronted with like wrestling shirt. Somebody says, that's fake,
Yeah, I know. Do you think after that talk show he slept with Sally Jesse Raphael?
I said yes.
What the hell was she wearing too?
Tracksuit. She tweeted about that.
Yeah.
That was the
What 80s. The hell was she wearing? Were they doing a workout thing?
It's the 80s.
Some like sweatsuit? Was she trying to lose weight or something?
Tracksuit, Stephen. It was the 80s. That was the time, the fashion of that.
No, that was a sweatsuit, Josh. That was a sweatsuit. She was sweating off the fat, and you know it.
She was sweating from the nature boy. Woo! Woo, 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 woo.
You guys might watch Flair in the WWF, but I watched them pure NWA. I was straight NWA because they came to this Brushwork, West Virginia, at the Brushwork Armory. I used to watch NWA from like 87 to 88, and Ric Flair was on the card. And when we do autograph sessions, he had a line going out the Armory, out in the parking lot. halfway down the street.
I believe it.
But yeah, it was a damn good documentary. I liked it because I remember the old school promos they did in Jim Crockett Promotions. The old school shit with J.J. Dillon, Tully Blanchard. I don't care if it was Ole Anderson or Barry Windham, Lex Luger. I used to watch that shit WTBS back in the day. I remember that old shit from the 80s. I was me. That's my essence. That's Big Josh's essence, man.
Josh, can I ask you a question?
What?
On Saturday mornings, did you get do you remember watching WWF on Saturday mornings or NWA/WCW? I'm curious. Living in Tennessee, I didn't know maybe.
But it's both when I was living in Virginia, every wrestling promotion came on. Literally from like AWA, NWA, WCW, WWF, and the last parts of World Class Championship Wrestling.
Well, I vividly remember when I was growing up, Philly 57 had NWA, and then it turned to WCW. And that was like 1 hour. That was probably the last hour, I think. And the first 2 hours, first was Wrestling Challenge, and then it went to Wrestling Superstars. This was Fox affiliate in Philly. And then and after that got done, I would flip to Philly 50. It was like 3 hours on a Saturday.
The only exposure I ever had to WCW, like before I got cable, was I don't remember the 80s. Like I remember a little bit of Flair's run from WWE. I mean, I watched it on tape. That's how you watched it back then. You got the tape of the pay-per-view like 2 months later, and
it was good, man. That feud with Randy Savage was really good. The angle was really good.
Yeah, and I was shocked with Hogan. Hogan was on that documentary, and he made a freaking big in that documentary that there was bigger than he was. He said that in that documentary. I was shocked when he said that.
I think he said better. Yeah, better.
Bigger or better? I forget
better.
What he said.
He said better.
Better and better.
Either way, bigger or better, whatever. See that Hogan went on, ESPN and said that.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to get your guys' thoughts. I want you to pick out one thing that we haven't talked about yet from the documentary that's really struck you. Could be a funny moment. Could be a heartfelt moment.
The moment that struck me the most.
Yes. Give me a second.
The moment that struck me the most. And
let me go first.
Okay.
I'm taking. We talked a little bit about Reed Flair, but well, you know what? We talked about Reed, so I won't bring that up. But when he said his favorite or most proud moment in wrestling wasn't anything involved with him. It was when Charlotte won her first Divas Championship. I thought that was pretty cool, and he got choked up. Mm-hmm. You can tell, even though he's made mistakes as a father, he really is a family man. He cares a lot about his kids, even though he might not always have cared about his spouses. Yeah, he cared about those kids. So, Steve, if you wanna go give yours here.
Well, I think I kind of mentioned it earlier. I like those animations. I think that was different. It was like the pictures, and they went as far as then with the wrestlers and doing all the workouts that he did with Vern Gagne and all that stuff. It was just very cool production. I thought.
Holy shit! They made him walk guys up these flights of stairs and then back down.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Made him wheel up the stairs, like crawl up the stairs. You imagine that? That's crazy.
You know what I always wanted to. Yeah, just off of that real quick. I always thought this, like back then when people didn't know what wrestling was, like the dudes that would go into wrestling schools or that would get recruited, they really wouldn't be smartened up. Like they'd think like, all right, we're really going to fight. And even after they started training, it hurt so much and they're putting them through the paces so much that you're thinking, well, it still isn't fake. And they don't realize it until they get backstage and they start going over finishes, I'm sure, and working spots, of course. But I thought that's so crazy to think like in the 60s and 70s, guys would try, all right, I'm going to become a pro wrestler, not even knowing what the business was. And then they would be smartened up once they got, into it.
That's crazy.
Tight of a thing it was, I guess. Josh?
Yeah, that's how.
Okay, here's something that's mind-blowing. That was from the documentary, and I didn't know, but I just realized. You remember Flair had the talk show in WCW, Flair for the Gold?
Yep.
Yes. Fifi.
And that's his current fiance.
Yeah.
Right now.
Fifi.
Yep.
Wendy.
And the other thing, when I was talking about it, I forgot it's on the tip of my tongue here. Yeah, it was just a Fifi thing. It was just I was so mind blown that I remember watching Fifi when I was a kid, and I was like, okay, hot woman, yeah. But now it looks like she's getting married to Ric Flair. So it's like a unique love story of how somebody that they were together in WCW are now really together in real life.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, the other thing I was confused about. Now, they said it towards the end when they got into the heavy stuff, and I know we don't want to bring the heavy stuff up, but I was confused when they brought up when he was he said he drank for a year straight, like himself into a stupor. After Reed had died. Now, was that recently, like this past year? Because he had died in what, 13?
13, yeah.
13, so that must have been 2014. He was.
So it was more than a year.
Yeah, the interview.
Because he kind of crashed this past year, so it was.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he stopped drinking or he just drank less, but
I don't know what happened. Yeah, I was confused on that because
he was definitely drinking this past year, even.
Yeah, but he stopped drinking. They say doctors tell him to stop drinking, and they said when he's coming to Knoxville in June, they said that Arn Tully and J.J. Dillon and Barry Windham are watching him like a hawk, not to drink so much alcohol.
I forgot that he did all that stuff in TNA after he retired WWE. I forgot about all that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch TNA. I don't watch the I watch TV, but I never really was a TNA pay-per-view watcher, so.
I remember TNA. What?
Yeah. Josh, you're not. If you go up to him now, don't go up to him and say, "Now, Mr. Flair, what's your drink of choice?" Don't say that.
No, I'm not. I'm not a drinker. Well, another story that I was going to say from the documentary. When he was talking about when he was at the shrink's office.
Yes. Oh, that comment. I found that to be interesting too. The 2 times a day comment.
And 10,000 women 2 times a day.
He must have the libido of 20,000 of the Hinkle franchise.
If you were the psychiatrist,
I was gonna bring this up. You buying or selling this 10,000 women?
Well, let's see. He probably did the math.
Hold on, they did the math on the Sam Roberts show, and they said that it would have been like 1.2 per night for every day since like forever.
A lot of times he would say in promos, and apparently the promos were true to life, that some nights it would be 4 to 5.
And I tend to believe it. I mean, it's got to be up there. I mean, it's
up. I mean,
his wife's worth shy.
Yeah.
The one thing I not like about this, who was the baby doll chick? That baby doll woman?
Nicola Roberts.
Wrestle, or was she a manager? Does anybody know that?
Oh wait, she's a valet. She's a valet to Tully Blanchard. Originally, she was with Dusty.
She went out there and made it believe like she actually went out there and wrestled. Like she was like, he went out there and made them believe.
I don't even know why.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I just thought of something. Rue, you remember what Rick said to the psychiatrist about like his habits?
Yes, I do. Yes.
So you're gonna, you can do a pretty good Ric Flair. So I want you to, you're in a psychiatrist's office, and you're with Dr. Josh Hinkle. Okay, Josh, I'm gonna give you one line to respond to what Ric Flair is telling you. Okay, you're gonna give one line, and I hope you know what the line's gonna be. So, Rick, tell him what you did last night.
What did I do last? Let me think. Just the line we're thinking of, right? The one I said. What am I thinking? Am I supposed to be saying?
Any of the lines? There's something that's like that was from the documentary.
Okay. All right. Let me tell you. Oh God, I can't do Ric Flair anymore.
Hey, Savage.
Tell you something, Savage. Hinkle. I can't do it. No, I can't do it right now. I'll do Ric Flair as Herb. All right. Here we go. Let me tell you something, Doctor. What I have to do. Dr. Joshua. You Dr. Joshua, that's your name? Right? Dr. Joshua, right?
I reckon.
All right. Dr. Joshua, I got to tell you what I do, and what I do is 2 times a day.
I go downstairs. And then when I mean downstairs, I mean down there.
You got a libido problem, Mr. Flair.
A libido problem? I don't call it a problem. I call it an accessory.
Oh, my.
That's the one I wanted. Yes, Stephen Page knows. Josh, you're killing me. You said the libido line. That's not the line I wanted.
I know. Oh, my.
Take two. Hold on, take two.
No, shut up. Do
it again. Let's do it again. That's all right.
Do it till we get it right,
Josh, you want to be in television, right? You get Big Josh TV. It doesn't say Big Josh gas station. It says Big Josh TV. You want to be in TV, we got to do multiple takes.
Botch.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. And take two. Go.
Dr. Joshua. Dr. Joshua, that's your name, right?
I reckon so.
Dr. Joshua, let me tell you what I did last night, Joshua. Guess what I did?
What you did?
I went downstairs twice. And when I mean downstairs, I mean down there.
Oh, my.
Wrap your mind around all that.
And scene. All right, we got it. It's a good one. Phew. I thought we were going to have to get a replacement for you after that first one.
Wait, I'll do my Brian Pillman impression. Yeah, there we go. Throw out the four fingers for no reason.
There you go. All right. I got a little game here. It's not quite Would You Rather, but it's a little different here. So we're gonna play. I'm stealing a game from your Uncle Vince Russo. Well, it's not really his, but I think you guys call it Marry, Kill, Kiss. Is that what it's called?
No, Kiss, Marry, Bury.
Yeah.
That was the PG version of that other game.
Yeah, we know
Kiss,
that.
Marry, Bury. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go first. I have 3 sets of these, so I'm gonna go to Josh since he's on right now. Let me share my screen with you, and we'll get your take. All right. Here we go.
Go for it. Yes. Do it.
All right. Your first, Kiss, Marry, Bury. WWE Divas. Luna Vachon, Bertha Faye, and Awesome Kong.
Okay. So, Luna Vachon, Bertha Faye, and Awesome Kong.
Yes.
Okay. I kiss Bertha Faye, marry Luna Vachon, and I'm sorry. I played the 5th on Awesome Kong.
You gotta kill somebody.
No, I have my option. I played the 5th.
Is that an option, Rue?
I made it up. Why you said
Josh very hesitant to bury Awesome Kong.
Kill her. It's not a big deal. It's okay.
I'm a Southern gentleman.
Oh boy, Josh doesn't want to touch that burying. It wasn't even kill, right? It was burying.
All the social stuff going on in the world today. I don't think he wants to touch it. I would want to touch it. Look at it. Would you want to touch that? I'd touch it.
Well, she looks good now. She lost a lot of weight though.
She was in the Netflix show.
Glow.
What's it called?
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
she looked good.
Looks totally different. All right, so Josh pleads the 5th there. All right, next up we have. Let's go. What's my next one? I forget what I have here. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna go to Steve, and we're gonna do former first ladies. Okay, we're gonna go. Let me see this. Laura Bush, lovely wife of President George H.W. Bush. Current First Lady Melania Trump there, looking very buxom. And also former First Lady Michelle Obama.
Oh, boy. Okay. Okay, what is the wording? I only know the wording. What's the wording that I'm using?
Kiss, marry, bury.
Kiss. I will kiss. Who had a one again? Oh, Melania. That's right. Okay.
Melania.
I will bury Melania.
There she goes. Boom.
I will for Bush, and I'll
All right.
marry Michelle Obama.
And you're gonna marry Michelle Obama?
Yeah.
All righty. There you go. All right. Next up, Rue. Here we go.
All right.
Oh boy.
All right. Female comedians. Kiss, marry, bury. Sarah Silverman, Melissa McCarthy, and Miss Amy Schumer.
No.
Marry Sarah Silverman.
All right.
I think she's still with Jimmy Kimmel, right?
No. She wants somebody else.
Oh, they did break up. Okay. I'll still marry her out of that crew. I'll marry Sarah Silverman. Kiss Amy Schumer and bury Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, wait. Did they say Sarah Silverman watched the bed still?
I didn't hear that.
No, I didn't hear that.
I was listening to Howard Stern.
By the way, I think Amy Schumer did steal Patrice's jokes. That's my opinion. I wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, I think she's a good comic, but she's lost it, and I did think she stole some jokes too.
Yeah, I think she stole jokes.
Whatever.
I think she stole jokes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, kind of like what Melania Trump did for Michelle Obama's speeches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think what that movie with Cena was pretty funny that she did, but I think she just lost steam.
Anybody watch the second movie? Anybody watch her second movie? I didn't see it.
No, Goldie Hawn. No, I heard it was terrible.
No, I wanted to see it, but it's still in Redbox DVDs. Nobody's buying it or renting it.
All right, we still have some time here. This is me and Rue wanted to spend some time on this, so okay. So news broke today. Actually, it broke today, but it's been reported, and I've heard stuff like this the past year or two about Louis C.K. All right, so full disclosure, he is my favorite comedian. Is and was, still is. I think he's brilliant, and I've always loved him since he was on the Opie and Anthony show. So news came out today that 5 women accused him of sexual misconduct. I wanted to get that straight because on Twitter people are saying sexual harassment, sexual abuse. It was sexual misconduct. It's kind of different, okay?
Okay, yeah, right.
Did you guys
exactly.
Did you guys read the article? I
read a little bit. I didn't read the full article. I was kind of skimming through it. It said something about called some woman and said he wanted to do it.
Well, hold on. If you didn't, Josh, you know about this?
Yeah, I was watching E! News about it today.
Okay,
and,
we've been reading. All right, hold on. Let me have a minute of your time. I have it up here. I highlighted some things. I will give you the pertinent information so we can have an informed discussion because a lot of people don't even read shit. So I'm gonna read this the parts I think are necessary here. Okay, so there's 5 women, 5 instances. So we're gonna read exactly word for word what this report says. Okay. In 2002, a Chicago comedy duo, Blah and Blah, landed their big break, a chance to perform at the U.S. Comedy Arts Festival in Aspen, Colorado. When Louis C.K. invited them to hang out in his hotel room for a nightcap after their late show, they didn't think twice. The bars were closed, so we're talking 2 a.m., right? And they wanted to celebrate. He was a comedian they admired. Blah, blah, blah. His intentions seemed collegial. As soon as they sat down in his room, still wrapped in their winter jackets and hats, Louis C.K. asked if he could take out his penis, the women said. They thought it was a joke, and they laughed it off. And then he really did it, Miss Goodman said in an interview. He proceeded to take off all his clothes and got completely naked and started masturbating. Okay. That's one. Okay. Let me go to the next one here. That was let me just another set the stage here. 2000.
So what's the timetable on this? So what's the timetable on this?
Yeah, this was 2002. 15 years ago. Okay. Louis C.K. was not a big comedian then. Right. He was a writer, but he did not have his first special on HBO, which was not even that big of a special until 2005. So if they were afraid of coming out in 2002, it really shouldn't have been the case because Louis was just another comedian. Tons of guys like him. Okay. All right.
And if they were going to come out, they would have done it when he had his show on FX the past few years.
And it never came out until now. So, you know, I guess let's just go. I guess we'll go one by one because I'll break this down. Okay. So these two here. If you take it for true, you don't take it for true. You know, they're in his room at 2:00 in the morning, and it's obvious that Louis is a little sexually deviant. It's obvious, and he talks about it in his stand-up. He asked them if he could do this. Now, the article says before they knew anything, he just did it. Now, does that mean that he asked them and then they didn't respond and he just started doing it, or does that mean that they said something and he started doing it? You know what I mean, Rue? Like, I think there might be something missing there. A dialogue that the women probably said something to him, like laughed at him, and they were probably having a good time, and he just did it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say because we're not behind closed doors. We're hearing one account of it, and of course, all the accounts have to be taken seriously. Because to me, I think they should have said it right away. I don't know why. I do know why they waited this long. Now it's happening in Hollywood everywhere, but should be taken serious. But also should not be taken out of context. And I mean, if he was forcing himself and literally locking the door. Okay, that's a whole nother can of worms, and I don't know if that's the case or is it the case. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't sound like he was locking them in the room. It did they sounded like they willingly went with him to the room.
No accounts. Then this was the only accusation that actually was a live physical that he did anything, not to anyone, but in front of.
So here's the thing. I think this is part of it, and this isn't defending or justifying. This is just giving me my opinion. I think how some people are into certain things. I think Louis is probably very perverted, and that's just his mindset. And I think. It shouldn't be guaranteed ever, but when you have someone, especially in the entertainment business, like Louis, and Louis wasn't even that big, like you said at the time, 2 a.m. and you're inviting someone up to your hotel room. First of all, like what did you expect? Did you expect to have this great conversation at 2 a.m. with this man that you've never met, that you've probably never gotten close before? What did you now I'm not saying Louis was in a position where he should have done. I mean, obviously, I'm totally against him doing what he did, but why? What do you think happens in a comedy club? Or even any form of entertainment, wrestling? You could use wrestling as an example. When a fellow female or male goes up to what is the point of going to a hotel room at 2 a.m.? I don't think they should have done that. I think and I know the new phrase now is victim blaming. I'm not victim blaming, but at the same time, you have to think, especially at the time, because even as soon as 2002, it was a much different world back then. And again, not justifying it, but back then, a lot of that stuff still went on, that carried over, that spilled over from the 80s and 90s, where after shows and after wrestling events and after comedy clubs, it was pretty bad like that. So the bottom line is, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but my take on it is you shouldn't force yourself in any, even though there was no physical contact, you shouldn't do that to anyone, and that's awful. But at the same time, what the hell are you in his hotel room at 2 a.m.? That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably one of 10 or 20 outcomes you could think of, is that something like that could happen. I don't know. And then it's also weird, like, he started doing it and they saw him finish on himself.
Why wouldn't you leave? Why wouldn't you leave?
Why would you?
Right.
And they said here, and I quote, there was a laughing line. They said they thought it was a joke and laughed it off. There was something in here that they were laughing. Yeah. They were laughing their heads off, like it was a joke.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, that's one of them. The next one was in 2003. This woman called Louis C.K. to invite him to one of her shows, and during the phone conversation, she could hear him masturbating as they spoke. Another comedian, Rebecca Corey, said that she was appearing with Louis C.K. on a television pilot in 2005, and he asked if he could masturbate in front of her. She declined. So again, he asked if he could do it. She said no. Okay. Guys ask women a lot, and back in the day they did, and they still do, if I could have relations with you. So, the ones that don't ask are the ones that are the bad ones. Obviously, Louis is a pervert, and he's got some issues with that. But does that make him? I don't know. They're trying to excommunicate him from like society almost. But he, I have a stat here.
I'm not saying what he did was right. Like you're saying, it's not.
So are you gonna? Yeah, I want to add some interesting comment that kind of threw me off. Are you gonna read all of them? Or are you gonna read the one about Tig Notaro?
Well, she's there. We'll talk about her. Yeah, we'll talk about.
Because I'll say that when it comes up.
I want to explain to these guys in the audience about her because I don't understand that one.
Yeah.
But let me
hear
by the way, I heard the stat.
That one now.
I know because it was said on the Jim and Sam show. Lisa Ann, the adult star, said it. Do you know how many unique visitors the website Pornhub gets in a day? 80 million unique visitors. There's 350 million people in America. Now, that could be international people. My point is this, that people that a lot of people, and not everybody's just watching the straight up clean stuff. There's a lot of perverted people out there. And Louis took it to a different level and was asking girls to if they would watch him. But people act like no one in the world is like got a weird thing like this. Not to say that I do, but it's like I don't know. They try to deny that like this is part of. Well, it just really depends on how the nature of this was. I mean, like when we get to that Tig Notaro story, there was something about that email that Louis sent that kind of threw me for a loop, and I don't know how. You don't know how often. I mean, you hear from 5 women, you don't know how many, if there were others. Or if here's another thing, and Louis, I don't want to say, you get lambasted if you say something like in Louis' defense, but you don't hear anything about if the girls were flirtatious with Louis, because one of the things that Louis said was in one of the emails is I used to read people wrong back then. It was a very dark time. I used to read people wrong. So nowhere in there does it say that maybe the girls were drinking with Louis beforehand, or maybe that I don't know if either of you, anybody at home knows when a girl is flirtatious with someone, kind of sends signals that they want to be with them. Maybe Louis got the maybe they weren't being honest about that because maybe, I don't know, at the time they just wanted a friend and a cool comedian. But I think the intent is left out on the opposite side. There's nothing relating to were they flirtatious with him or nothing. It was just everyone was like a cold. It's like a cold. You call it cold calling when you pick up the phone. It's so obvious that there is a clear line that separates all the things that have been coming out with this Weinstein character. What's his name? I can't think of his name. The actor.
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey, where there's 14-year-old boys, and people are saying that he just walked up to them and used to grab their junk. There's a clear change between that and then the directors that are dating 13-year-old girls and this politician that had a relationship with a 13-year-old. There's a difference between that and Louis, the perverted little Louis C.K. asking a woman
touching himself
if he'd watch it, if they'd watch him.
Yeah, there is a difference.
Stop trying to say your life's over. You're never going to work again because
this was predetermined. This was predetermined. This was premeditated. They did it for a reason. They did it on the day when they did it. They did put it on the day for a reason. It was tonight was supposed to be the premiere of his movie. They knew when it was happening. It seems like it's too for them to be that hell bent on seeing someone go down. It was almost like how could you not I don't know. It's just such a weird situation. There's a couple comments on this New York Times article that I thought were really spot on. I want to read one of them here. Here's one. It says, gross, yes. Criminal, no. Having a fetish isn't illegal. If he used his position and power to coerce women to watch him, surely that is wrong. But it sounds like he gave the women the opportunity to say no. Again, all of these statements are still accusations, and he is already being tried in the public space. I heard somebody say today that he trapped women in his room. I'm saying, okay, he trapped women in his hotel room. How did they get there in the first place? Did he drag them up there by their hair? Right. Did he trap them in the sense that they were handcuffed and the dresser was pulled in front of the door and the windows were bolted shut? Is that because that's what trapped is? Because really, if I'm
from how you read the first one to me, I don't feel like I think they went into a club, they had a show or whatever, and then they went back to his hotel room knowingly to have a nightcap or whatever, and this happened.
Yeah, and I think,
and then there he wasn't like.
Yeah, here's the thing, and again, I gotta say this every time. I'm not justifying it, but I think that's like what Justin said. That's the weird, perverted thing that Louis was into, and I think whereas if anyone else, say Dane Cook, maybe did the same exact thing, I don't know. Would we be sitting here talking about this? Does it have to do with because Louis really isn't the traditional? Traditional good-looking man. I just want to say one more thing. That definitely was. I don't. I understand that for some people the culture is to not back then was to not say anything because they were scared and also fearful for their jobs. But my opinion is, wouldn't like human well-being come before finding work? And that's like sacrilege. I said it to somebody online. They almost like lost their stuff. It's like, how dare you say that? I said, well, I mean, if you speak up and say something like Joe Paterno should have said something years ago, weren't you like preventing it from happening to other people? Or do you care that much about, oh my God, I'm never going to work in this town again? Do you care more about working in that town? Or do you care about someone being abused again? Like, that's my opinion. I totally understand being scared, especially back then, but I think it should have been addressed back then if it was that much of an issue. That's my opinion. I mean, I can't speak for, I'm a white man. I'm not a female. This is just my opinion. I haven't gone through what that feels like to be in that situation, but I feel like it should have been handled. I feel like it should have been handled if it really was an issue then. And if they were to get laughed at, still speak your mind. You know, that's my opinion. That's what I think.
Yeah, I was thinking about this too, and I'm trying to find a parallel. Now, Louis,
I would say the Cosby thing, but Cosby did much worse, obviously.
No. I'm saying I want to switch the sexes around. So, if you were like my brother Ryan, does some stand-up comedy, okay, and you know you did a couple sets, so you're say you did some more and you moved to New York City or whatever. Yep. And say that there was a middling star, which Louis was at the time, say, I don't know, anybody, Annie Liederman or Lieberman. Yeah. And for some reason, like, she's not that great looking, she's whatever. And you were trying to get a part for, I don't know, a show that she was a writer on, but not the head, but just the writer. And she asked you to come over and she whispers in your ear, not even whispers in your ears, and says, hey, Ryan, I'm really a freak. Would it be okay? I'm going to ask you nicely. Would it be okay if you watched me, touch myself? Would you be scarred by that? Would you go to someone and be upset? Would you? I don't. You know what I mean? Like if you flip the table, if you flip the tables, it's something you tell your buddies.
Yeah,
but it's not something
I hear you, but that very rarely ever happens, if it ever has happened.
Maybe it's because it's a male. I don't. It wasn't like it was a threatening thing. If it was anything physical or anything of him demanding, or if it was a power thing, then he's wrong. And he was still wrong in what he did. But it's the difference between being perverted and hurting someone. I don't think he hurt anyone here. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We're leading to something that I want you to read from the Tig Notaro email that kind of like took me back a little bit and made me think of something. But yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It's just it really was a different it really was a different atmosphere back then, and it just it seems like some of the hate. We didn't bring this up. One of the things I really, really hate, and I'll be brief about this because I know we're going kind of long, is that now that this has been happening, now people, especially humorless people who have no business talking about comedy, are now ripping into his bits and Louis the television show, saying he was homophobic and he was racist and he was misogynistic in the show and women were portrayed this way and that way. It's like, can you please, like, I don't care if you rip him 1,000 times to Sunday for what he did in the hotel room. If he did that, probably. But please just stay out of comedy. Like, you don't know what's funny. You don't know funny. Please just shut the hell up. Okay. Like, don't stay out of, first of all, you're all friggin' marks because you think that anyone who says anything went into a microphone on stage is a shoot, when I got news for you. Most of it is made up. Most of it is made up to entertain people. So you're marks, and just, I found that to be a pretty low blow. Like, people now taking cheap shots at his art now that this is coming out. Just leave comedy alone. That's what I say.
Yeah. I don't know. I just
has nothing to do with Louis C.K. in the hotel room has nothing to do with stand-up comedy. I mean, if you think, I mean, he does talk about some pretty raunchy things during his act, but that's what a lot of
they all do. But we don't believe it. We laugh at the joke, but we don't believe that the joke really happened. We laugh it it did happen.
No, and when you say we, you're talking about people like you and I. Unfortunately, Stephen, there's a whole generation of people who are raised to think that words are literal, and they have no idea of tone or sarcasm or dry humor. They're just
it's like the guys in the front row at the wrestling match that think the heels really are those people, and behind the scenes, and they just want to kill them.
I think that's probably worse, but it's like, it's not, Louis is not like, I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on.
Josh, I want to give you a chance to speak your mind if you want to throw your 2 cents in.
Yeah, Josh, tell us what you think about this. Did you know Louis C.K. at all, like prior to, or are you just hearing about him now?
I just saw it's on E! News, and that's it.
I mean, like prior to, like, you didn't know about Louis C.K. until today, right? Really?
But we saw Opie and Anthony, and that's it.
Okay. Oh, all right. I didn't know you listened to Opie and Anthony. That's cool, Josh. You listen to Opie and Anthony.
Well, I dabbed a little bit listening to those guys.
He also dressed up as a Civil War reenactment.
Market. I thought they were Northeast, but anyway. All right, so let's address one. We're done with Louis C.K. for the moment, but Mr. Z has again not been able to make this Horseman Hangout, and it's unfortunate. Mr. Lane is at the gym, as we know. He's getting his workout on, so he's not here. But Mr. Z is not here, and I don't know what it is. It's been 3 straight weeks, and I don't know. Josh, what do you think?
I plead the 5th.
Man, Big Josh pleading that 5th.
Wait, let's make this official on my screen here.
Josh,
what?
Josh, let me explain something to you, okay? You call me the head booker, okay? I don't even know who the head booker is anymore in WWE. I need to sell a pay-per-view. I can't sell a pay-per-view if my 2 main event guys aren't going to build the heat to the pay-per-view. How do I sell a pay-per-view when my defending champion is pleading the 5th and the other one's not here? I need one of those 2 men one of those two men to build heat for the people.
That just reminded me. Zeal laugh at this. How do I sell an infomercial to fat kids who can't keep their piggy little snouts shut?
Disney's heavyweights. Come on. Josh, do you understand where I'm coming from? I need to sell this pay-per-view.
Read the screen.
Well, I might have to consider putting a new main event in then, and
all right.
Replacement.
Shut up.
Oh,
shut up.
Volatile. He's like that. Oh no.
We got our main event for Horsemania 2017 was going to be Big Josh Hinkle versus Mr. Z. Now I think I might drop you down to the mid card.
Oh no.
Put you against
Spiral.
I don't even know.
Spiraling.
Yeah, and I might. What I think the main event's going to be, it's going to be a tag match.
Oh no.
Drew and Mr. Lane versus Steven and me.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay.
So
Enough.
You're gonna cut a promo. You're gonna cut a promo, or I drop you on the card.
Meltdown.
Oh, shut up. You want me to cut a damn promo? Fine, I'll cut a damn promo. Okay, just get you to shut up, Mr. Host.
And yes.
Mr. Booker, man.
And yes.
Mr. Booker. Wait, let me wrestle this pencil. This pencil's like Mr. Z.
Oh my.
Come back to the show, Mr. Z. You have been on 3 weeks. Mr. Z. Booker, man. What?
And yes. You haven't been on a show in a while, Mr. Z. And yes.
All right. Well, I can't end the show. If this is Raw, I can't end Raw on that promo. I don't know.
Man, Mr. Z, we'd like to have you back on the show. Because I heard Big Josh. You have a few things to say to Big Josh, so we want you to have
I want you guys to put yourself in my shoes. Put yourself in the host shoes. How do you book this thing? Where do you go from here?
Just drag his butt over on the Google Hangout or something. I want Mr. Z on here as much as you guys.
So you want the host to kidnap him?
I'm not saying kidnap the guy.
You want me? Wait a minute. You want me to go to his house in the middle of the night and drag him out and kidnap him, and I'm going to tell him that you sent me? Is that what you want me to do?
No. Shut up. Listen to what
I think that's called a federal offense now, actually.
Home
invasion.
I'm talking about drag him up to Google Hangouts, damn it. Okay.
All right.
No, you make me lose my...
You know what I'm going to do? This is what I'm going to do. Mr. Z, if you're watching, I'm gonna build the heat for you. I'm coming down to your house. I know where you live because I've been there since I was 5 or 6 years old. I'm gonna drive in. I ain't knocking on the door. I'm coming in your window. I'm grabbing you by that thick head of hair you got, that nice thick head of hair that I wish I had. I'm throwing you in the back of my Hyundai. I'm driving down Interstate 95, and I'm gonna drop you right on the doorstep, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I'm gonna knock. I'm gonna say, hey, Josh, here he is. Have at him. And you guys are going to go. That's what I'm going to do.
I just realized both of them have nice, thick heads of hair. I think that means that the match needs to be a loser shaves head match. Loser shaves their head.
God, really? You guys want me to have heat with the Z? Jesus.
Josh, you shaved your head before.
Okay, seriously, guys. I don't want any heat between me and Anthony Zorzi, the Z-Man. He's like the Tully Blanchard of the group here. Okay.
Well, I feel like Mr. Z feels differently. I feel like there's heat. I feel like there's heat building. I feel like it's a quiet heat. It's a silent. It's like a silent.
Silencion, damn it. Whatever the hell that means. I don't know what the hell that means for.
I have an idea. What if it wasn't Mr. Hinkle? What if it was Senior Hinkle?
No. Screw that. That gimmick's been dead since Root TV when Vince Russo killed on that show.
I don't know. I just think that this needs to be squashed.
Enough. Shut up. I want to say something before we end the show. I want unity in this group. I don't want heat. I don't want no Josh Heat this, Anthony Dorsey that. I don't want this bullshit. I want unity. I want all of us, all 6 of us, with Mr. Lane here and Stephen Page, all of us, we throw up this. We're the symbol of excellence, damn it. I want to have the best damn YouTube show be a part of every Thursday night without no heat, no bullshit. I want there to be unity, damn it. We're the Horsemen Hangout. Diamonds are forever, and so is the Horsemen Hangout, damn it.
No drama here, baby.
Damn right.
I think you made Rue cry. I think you made him cry. Beautiful.
Josh,
That's what I've been tweeting on Twitter all damn day.
Josh, are you on energy drinks or like some kind of drug right now? You are really fired up, man. What are you on?
Nothing. It's just pure adrenaline.
Man, I never saw you with that pitch, that voice, that pitch in your voice before. It's very, very emotional.
Yeah, because I don't want no heat. I know we have fun. I know we bust each other's balls from time to time. But
I know.
Seriously.
Well, we haven't heard from Mr. Z. I hope he's not en route to Tennessee to not to Pigeon Forge.
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm gonna jump in. Let's see. I'll take a shot in the dark here.
I hope not.
Oh my!
Shot in the dark.
Okay.
If he's en route to Pigeon Forge, you might as well call those cops.
All right, listen. I get it. You know, I think as the booker here, as the host, I'm gonna have to change the storyline, and I may have to. You're gonna talk about heat. I think it's time I make a call to an old Hangout member. I think it's time. I'm not going to say his name, but he knows who he is, and he's got heat on this show, and I could book that. I could book it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Leave me out of it.
You know, you're out of it. You're going to be on the warm-up show. I'm going to put you in the warm-up show now. You're going to be in the Andre Battle Royal, all right?
Okay, whatever.
You're going to wear the singlet, the Andre singlet, though.
Would you quit roasting him, bro?
I'm just trying to make an entertaining show, okay? We got serious Louis C.K.
Yeah, there, Baldy. You're right, Baldy.
Did you not read Big Josh's tweet to all of us when he said, "Let's not roast us"?
Josh just roasted me. He called me Baldy.
Well, we bust each other's balls from time to time, but seriously, okay, fine. We can roast each other maybe once a month, twice a month, or 6 times on Sundays. I don't care. But let's just have unity. That's the only thing I give a shit about, man.
We got unity. What we need is a show. We need some heat.
It seems like there's all this drama going on this show, on Super Ugly show. Everybody's got drama and heat. What the hell?
Okay. Mr. Z, I'm making a plea with you. Here, fine. Okay.
Get on your knees. On your knees.
I got you on your knees right there, Mr. Kling. Okay. Mr. Z, come back to the show. Address your issues. You got a problem with me. We'll address it like horsemen. That's all we do. We address it like horsemen, damn it.
All right.
Alrighty.
It's 11 o'clock here. Before we get the new blood on, let's close it out. Final thoughts. Again, I just wanted to thank you guys for coming on. Thanks for watching. And I wanted to just say rest in peace, Roy Halladay, Doc Halladay, one of the best pitchers I've ever seen, and one of the most fun you'll ever see watching a baseball game is seeing him pitch, and just a great part of my life for a couple of years there. And you know, baseball is more than just a sport for me and my family, and Doc was a big part of that for a couple of years there. So you'll be missed. All right, Rue.
Rest in peace, Roy Halladay. And I heard a rumor that myself and my brother and Mr. Z maybe even a couple friends or two, may be at CZW this Saturday night in Sewell, New Jersey at the Rastilis Complex, watching Dave, Chris, Jake, Chris, Sammy Callahan, Joe Gacy, Shane Strickland, and others.
David Starr, your favorite wrestler.
David Starr, yeah, David Starr, the product. And, yeah, looking forward to that. I think if you follow me on Twitter at Root TV Comedy, maybe you'll see some pictures of that. Or at Instagram at Rue_ATP. Or on YouTube, youtube.com/RooTV. Or on the podcast, facebook.com/AfterTheParty podcast. Or my email at ruedibiase@gmail.com. Or my cell phone number at 857. I'm sorry for all the plugs, guy. I got plug. Also, I think that we should be totally wrapped in blankets tomorrow morning because it's going to be like 20 degrees here in New Jersey. Cheers, guys.
Josh.
All right, what does my screenshot? Rue is a chatterbox. Okay.
Hey,
okay. Oh no. Okay, I'm just gonna be serious. If I could be serious for a second. I had on the screen earlier. Shout out to Mrs. DiBiase, of course. I just had to say hi to your wife, Justin. You know.
I'll tell her she's sleeping right now.
Lucky man. And I just want to say yes. I said hi to Troy Froman too. Troy Froman made a funny comment on Facebook on my post. It's got a picture like a guy with a horse head on it and all that. It's real funny.
Oh yeah.
But it was fun being on the show tonight. I want to apologize for my passionate moment I had on the show. I don't know why the hell I done that. But I've been binge watching all day on old Horsemen Hangout episodes, and I just wanted to bring back the unity. That's all I care about.
All right.
Well, bottle that enthusiasm and bring it next week, boy.
Literally bottle it. Put it in a bottle of like something.
Where is the love, man?
All right. Steve, take us out.
Okay, it's that time, folks. See you later, slap dicks.
Right on. See you guys next week.